Okay.
Welcome, guys. You're through to another episode of Inside Thoughts. With me today is KJB.
What's up? What's up?
OJ, not the one with the hands,
What's
the
up,
other one.
everyone?
Yeah. and and myself, Mal. And today we are going to be discussing, new things that we've been trying throughout lockdown, and also things that in life in general. So you can't just say if there's things that you might have had dreams as a kid that you might be pursuing now, things that you thought about recently, and how to go about it. But first things first, let's go about. So, who wants to go first? What's new things have you been trialing throughout lockdown? Like Oz, actually. I've heard you've been doing something new with one of your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying a few things. One of them was working out. I know that's like not the most say newest of things, but I have a problem where I can't commit to something. So my whole plan for this lockdown was to make myself commit to something like a workout routine. Because I've started multiple workout routines, I've never finished any of them. But this time I thought I'll force myself to do that, and
Yeah.
I can say I'm finishing a 12-week program this week. Actually, I've got like two more workouts to do, and I'm done. And I'm really buzzed about it. And another new thing I've been trying is I've been really interested in music, and I've bought myself a guitar, and I'm learning that. And finally, I've also tried a business. I've started two businesses and working on them. One of them is starting to do well, and the other ones I'm yet to launch them. But yeah, so those will be the three things that I've tried this lockdown, and yeah, it's been pretty decent actually.
That's good, because I remember you used to struggle with you used to struggle with him to the point that he used to have this bet that I obviously accepted because there was no detriment to myself, is that he would work
Yeah.
out every day, and he'd have to
Uh-huh.
upload a video to Instagram to prove that he'd worked out that day, and if he hadn't
Yeah.
done that, he owed me £5, and I was like, okay, fine, let's do this, and he used to do that, and he found that it went to the point that I was like, let's just forget it, because otherwise you're just going to be owing me your paycheck until you
Yeah, I
retire.
would have pretty owed you. Like, I would have pretty owed you for the rest of my life. I mean, the thing is, though, I was good. I was good. I was doing it every day and every day, every day. But I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'll just take one day off. Then one day it turns to two, turns to like a week, and then it turns to a month. Before I know what's happening, it's 6 months, and I'm just like, fuck, what happened? And I'll start all over again. So one day I just thought I'll sit down, talk to myself, and be like, dude, what the fuck's your problem? And I realized my problem is like I just don't commit to stuff. So I thought, let's work on that, and then I'll work on everything else. Like now it's just be like have a routine, follow it all the way to the end, and then you can build on that. And like now I'm gonna finish it, and gyms are gonna be opening soon. So my next step is to get a personal trainer, and then work on other stuff. But now it's just to be like you can commit because you've done it before, and it's like
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I would have owed you like a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Jesus.
But my goal for actually doing that was to be like, if I do this, because I'm gonna be like, and if I don't go, I have to pay £5. I thought that would like motivate me, but then I realized, I don't know. I don't know. I have
Yeah,
no
I could
idea.
afford £5. Like, oh my god, it's not gonna break the bank.
Yeah, but did it accumulate though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? What's new? What's something you guys
Come on,
tried? Like,
KJB. What have you? What's yeah?
What's new? Wait, for me, it's self-educating myself, really.
Yeah.
Just like trying to learn something about business, trying to educate myself about business, and trying to like possibly start somewhere and get a new income. And
What specific sort of sector are you looking towards?
I don't know. I'm still figuring out. Like I said, I'm still self-educating myself for the first time. So it's not like going to school, college, or uni. You have to like specifically learn something. But now it's just okay. Let's educate yourself on something entirely different.
yeah.
I would say second, similar to Oz, where I'm trying to now. I'm not going to go back to gym anymore. I don't like gyms. I'm going to try to do more walking, more jogging, even possibly start doing running as well. So, maybe something different. And something new, I have now figured out my girlfriend can bake better cakes than me, so I'm a bit jealous. So I need to now learn how to bake. Yeah, properly
Yeah.
make good cakes and all that
Mm.
stuff. Because my girlfriend made an Oreo cake, and I'm like, oh, I can do that, and I can't do that. So it's like, yeah,
You've got till the end of the weekend to figure it out.
Yeah.
To find out.
I can't bake for shit.
Yeah, my cakes
Yeah,
don't taste
I
that
can
great.
bake cake. I'll probably burn down the whole house.
You know
No, I
what?
can make banana cake and stuff like that, but she made an Oreo cake one time and it was really nice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so you're gonna make Malachi's cake soon? Okay, you're gonna make that fruit white chocolate cake. All right, cool. All right, never mind. I'll just eat it. I'll just eat
That's
it.
all you got to do is just get the ingredients. Be like, since you're so good at baking, please, and then you win. Because if she because you got to make it, and you're like, good. I was like, I wanted you to achieve, because I wanted to taste the cake.
Trust
Yeah.
me. Jesus.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my top three at the moment. There's self-education, trying to learn something about business.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go gyms ever again because,
Mm.
like with ours, I don't have the commitment because I'm always doing other stuff like basketball, recordings, work, and getting the bus and coming from work. You just don't have that motivation anymore. So I'm gonna try to do more jogging and walking and try to do some home workouts instead. Home workout.
Yeah. I think it's like as long as you're moving, that's the important bit. Because I think people think you have to go to the gym to like, I don't know, be fit, but it's not. As long as because like, okay, so in the past few months, I'm doing workouts I've never done in my life, and I'm thinking you can do that with your body, like what the hell? And like, it's like the first time you do it, you struggle, and then like a few other times you do it, you get better, and then the more you do it, I feel like even just bodyweight exercises you can do a lot for you. So you don't really have to go to the gym. But I think it's just a misconception that people were like, oh, you have to go to the gym to look like this or whatever. No, you just have to move. That's the important bit. But yeah, so you're right. More jogging and doing exercises at home. I think that's very cool. Yeah. What about you,
since this whole pandemic. Oh, No, I've noticed since the whole pandemic, I haven't done much walking. Like before, like January, February, I used to be walking to big Tesco's and all of that stuff, walking to H-Way and back. I can't walk for shit anymore. Like if it's 30 minutes down the road, I'm out of breath, covered in sweat and everything. Like it's killing me.
I used to love walking down the road. I remember one time we were going down the road to Kettering.
Oh no!
And we were like, this McDonald's opens in 5 minutes. We can wait. And then he was like, nah, there's one down the road, just down the road. We can go that way and we'll get there quick. Yeah. Tell me why. Me, him, and his brother were still walking 20, 30 minutes later down the road to get there. But by the time we was halfway there, it was like, we'd be eating right now. We'd already be eating.
Yeah.
But nah, it's just down the road. Down the road.
No.
And since then, I've never trusted his judgment of time.
I don't think I'll ever fall for him if he does that. But like down the road, I'm like, yeah, nah, dude, not gonna
just down the road, in Russia. Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's
That's
but
it.
I can't even walk that no more. I can't even walk 30 minutes. Like from Queensway to let's say London Road. I can't even walk that no more. It's tiring. So I'm just trying to get back into
how
routine
quickly
now.
you lose your fitness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
you lose your fitness 3 times as fast as you gain it. So if you one day
That's
of rest is
sucks.
equivalent to 3 days worth of training.
Yeah.
And that's
I
that's
wish
how
you could
quickly
just
it
walk out
works.
one time and you just fit forever. You're like, yo, I don't have to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Always
man.
hyper,
But no,
always
you gotta
fit.
maintain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. When it comes to it, I do get because myself personally, I'm what you call a optimist. Yeah. Or a time optimist. Yeah. In which case, I always feel like I have more time than I do, and so no matter what, no matter how early I get up, when it came to going to work in the morning, I'd somehow like even sometimes it was me, but a lot of the times it was just the bus would work against me. If I went early, the bus would just go earlier or late. Yeah. And if I went on time, the bus would go early. And if I was late, the bus was on time. Like it would only ever be on time if I was running late. I could watch it run. It's like, oh, this is the one time it makes it. But for every other day this week, it's been late. I was like, oh, it's been even, and then I'll get there on time. It's like, nah, the bus went 2 minutes ago. No one's here waiting at the bus stop. It was just, so I'll always have to run to town. because like I could run to town in about 15, 20 minutes if I make sure I'm sprinting every chance I got.
God
And
damn.
honestly, I feel like I'm gonna pass out by the time I get to the
Yeah.
bus, and I feel like I'm
Yeah.
just boiling hot with sweat just pouring out like waterfalls.
Yeah.
But
Obviously.
I make it, and it happens so often. It's like basically keep me in shape. Yeah, since I've been working from home, yeah, and I feel like I can also, if I go and see my dad, I can feel the like, oh, I don't know how my dad lives closer than town. I'm like, I don't know if I can make it much further. I'm gonna.
I know that feeling.
But that's
You
it.
imagine
You
if
know
someone's like, yo, how you keeping fit? Dude, I just missed the bus.
Yeah. That's it, mate. That's it. If I have to catch the later bus, you'll see me running from the Northampton College to work. It's a half an hour walking spot, but if you run it, you can do it in 20 minutes. And so I'm just there, just sweating. And I know, I'm like, if I feel like I'm just there, like all conservative for the rest of the day. Like, do I stink? Like, because I know I've been sweating everywhere. Like, is it just wet sweat? But yeah, it's also one of the things with you two talking about your fitness and stuff like that. Like, Kamal, you're saying you're going to stay from home, or you've obviously been committed to working from home. You're going to move back to a gym. I've had the complete opposite sort of spectrum because I found like I had a routine in place. I was actually getting fit, and like when I was at the gym, it's like zones I have. Like one thing that I struggle with at home is like you guys can see it, the viewers can't, but I'm established right in front of my work desk right now, and my bed, my feet are on my bed, and it's like I need places to like it's I struggle with having like more than one use for a place. Like my room is usually my relaxation area. I retreat here, and now this is my work area, and I've got to try and get that balance. And it's like when I went to the gym, I could work out. I'd be like, this is where I'm going to do this. I'm here to train, and I've put my heart and soul into it. Since the gyms have shut down, I've been home. I find it hard to turn this from my working, sleeping, chilling area to my working, sleeping, chilling area that I also work out in as well. I need to get
There's actually like a study like about that. It's like like when you go to the gym, you are like primed to be in like a workout mode because everybody's doing it. And that's literally what it's specifically for. But your bedroom like does a lot of things. Like now you can work on it, you play games, you're relaxing and stuff like that. So it serves multiple purposes. So it's like really difficult to like say, oh, I'm just gonna allocate my bedroom for one thing. So yeah, you definitely do need space because that happens to me. So when I started and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit on the desk, I'm gonna do some work, and I'll start doing work, but then I get distracted because before I sit on a desk to watch YouTube videos or Netflix and stuff like that. So it's really difficult to switch your mind to be like, okay, I need to work now. But your brain will like, but dude, we play on this or we relax on this way. It's like difficult to like switch, So yes, if you're gonna work out at home, you're definitely gonna need like a place. If you have it, you're like, okay, this is the place, and every time I'm here, I have to work out and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just crazy how our mind works, man. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't ask you the question. What new? What have you been like up to? What's something new you've been doing?
Well, I'm gonna say one of them. You know, that I've not really. I've done them before. Like I've never really done them outside of family. Like it's a picnic. I've never had a picnic with friends, and that was really that was something that was just it was really nice. It's like it's nothing big or major, but it was like it was new to me because one of the things that I used to hate, which used to make it like one of the good things with lockdown, is that I'm saving massively, but the thing is, I used to know because everything that you could do in my head cost money that you could do with friends. And it was like certain things like you gotta do something because everything costs money. And since lockdown, there's a lot of stuff that I've been doing, like socially distanced, of course, because but there's a lot of stuff that I realized you can do outside that doesn't cost money or doesn't cost a lot of money, and you can just sit and enjoy. Like Kamal was there, you know. We were just chilling. We had to move every 10 minutes because the sun kept moving too. But we were enjoying that. It was nice. It was pleasant. It was one of the best days I've had since in lockdown, and it was also really great. It was like in some cases it was like almost being on holiday. Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, well, like touching on that thing where you like in your head you think everything costs money. Like, an example I give you, like I think like literally.
Is he frozen for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he look really funny right now? Can you look at his face?
How much money you taking out? Wait, am I good? What? Wait, what? What's happening?
Oh,
Oh, for the
God.
guys listening, by the way, we're doing this over Zoom. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, your face is frozen
What's
in a
happening?
really awkward position. It just you look like you were.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
god damn the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like as I was saying, like I'm like sometimes like I wouldn't say like it affects your mood, but you'd be like when you don't have say enough money. Let's say we're out clubbing and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, I don't know, talk to a girl or something. You start worrying about buying her drinks, like getting taxi home, all that stuff, and because you say if you don't have enough for that, you don't want to do it. And I'm just like, dude, just go with the flow. Like it doesn't matter. But I'm glad, like now you can see that you can have a good time and like it wouldn't cost you anything as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I hope like you carry it on after the lockdown's over. Like I think it's a good thing to learn. That's really cool.
I think some of the stuff that we've had to do is nicer regardless. You know, like even if it wasn't in lockdown, it'd be nice to go sit in the park and have a picnic every once in a while. You know, it'd be nice to just go for like a nice walk or jog with a mate, you know, just around like those kind of things. Like, I used to find it difficult to go for a jog. I still do. Yeah. However, I find it a lot easier when I'm with a friend. You know, it's like, Right. Come on, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just thinking, I need to fix my bike instead, you know. Like, jogging is long. I'm going to try to fix my bike. I keep saying that to myself. Loud jogging,
Come on. Speaking of which, I think the government is doing like a £50 voucher to fix your bike or something. I don't know if it's expired or it's still on, but maybe check the government website or just search on Google to see if you can find it. But they were doing that because they're encouraging people to go out more because apparently people staying at home is not healthy for them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because literally, I just go to work, come home, play Warzone, eat food, back on Warzone, sleep. It's like, I can't do that.
Yeah, but look how much running you do on Warzone, you know? If you can just transfer that into yourself.
Exactly. Running from bounties, running to get my money.
But that's the thing. God. I think if you see like life as like a game, it becomes really easy because like, it's like in the game, you just think, okay, I have to go collect all of these things. I have to develop my character, do this, level up, and all those stuff. But if you like apply it on yourself, like it works.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You take your time. I think I had a conversation with you towards the start of lockdown. I was like, I've got to it was just before lockdown, and we were supposed to do something, but I had to do something else first. And I was like saying, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, I've got to do that. It was like something about fixing the clothes on my bed, packing them away, changing the bed and everything like that, just sort of like just cleaning my room essentially. And I explained to you exactly everything I've got to do. And he was like, well, yeah, then why don't you do that? I was like, yeah, I know I do have to do that. I was like, yeah, no, why don't you just take it step by step? You told me exactly what you've got to do to do it in that order. And then I did it. Like it took me about half an hour in that order. What do you think about now, Kamal?
Man. Just thinking about that. 2 months I've been playing this game. I got 2 wins. It's like if I could do something right now, fitness-wise, for 2 months, I could be so far beyond what I am now. I was just thinking, wow, Jesus.
Hey, there is a new thing that I've wanted to try when it comes to Warzone and things like Warzone and then sort of elimination kill games. On Call of Duty. It's almost basic for like anyone that does have their work life, have their game life balance in check. Yeah. Anyone that struggles with it, like myself, if you die, even if it's in the case of you being revived, and if you get revived, it's the case that if you die again, you still do it every time you die on any game. Like apart from the ones where you instantly respawn, because obviously you're not gonna have enough time. You just sort of set yourself a level, But like mine at the moment is. It's either like you switch between them, but like either 10 sit-ups or 10 push-ups. You know.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. Oh God,
that's good though. That's really good. That's
That is
really
a good
cool. That's a good idea. I like it.
It allows you to either you're gonna get better at the game, so you don't have to do it no more. Or it's getting more difficult as you get fitter, or
Yeah.
you're gonna get really fit and healthy. Like, oh, I'm so trash at the game, but I'm shredding it in real life.
But dude, I'm jacked
I
as shit.
swear there's people,
Yeah,
whoever's
but that's the
listening to
thing.
Inside Thoughts with me now, if we're playing Warzone quads, trios, duos, yeah, every time I lose, we're going to get hench. Come on.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that's
it.
it. No, honestly, like it works. And another thing I'm gonna add to it, you have to be honest with yourself, because that's one of the things I found really hard. Where you're like, sometimes you're trying to do something and it's really hard, and you want to quit, and you're like, I can do something else. I can literally go lay down. I can go eat some shit, and you're there thinking,
I'm forcing myself to do this.
Yeah. So you have to be honest with yourself, because your inner mind goes, dude, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. Come on, man, this really sucks. And like, if you go, yeah, you're right, and you stop, basically, like, you just defeated yourself. So you have to be honest about, okay, when I lose, I'm gonna have to do this. It sucks, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, if you make I see people as two. You have the inner version of you who's like always honest, and that person doesn't give a shit. They just, if they don't like something, they tell you. If they're lazy, they tell you, and you are the one who decides. So like, there's the decider you, and there's the honest you. So the honest you, he's lazy. He just likes everything super easy. So say you're doing something hard, and it's like, dude, I don't want to do this. This sucks. You just have to be like, yeah, I know it sucks, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So like, if you're keeping yourself accountable, like, you can do it, and it's not gonna be hard work anymore. It's gonna be fun. Like, that's kind of what has been motivating me to do some workouts some more. Because what I used to do is I would look at the preview, and I decide if it's hard or easy. And if it's like hard, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this workout. I don't know, I'll skip. But now I'm like, I don't care. I'm not even gonna look. As it comes, everything's gonna be a surprise to me. And sometimes I do stuff. When I see the trainer doing it, I'm like, this is gonna be really hard. Then I do it, and I'm like, oh, it's actually not that hard. It was just all in my head.
Well,
But
there's
yeah,
a
I
couple
think
of things I've got
Malachi
to that.
system is a good thing.
Yeah. Couple of things I've got that. It was like, one thing is Gary Vaynerchuk, when he was saying that the people with the most freedom in life are those with the most discipline. Because to have freedom, you have to have discipline, which sounds counterintuitive, but I've probably botched that a bit. But the essence of it is because if you don't have discipline, and by discipline is in self-discipline, then you might go, oh, I want to go over here, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. But then when something else comes up that's easy for you to do, and you're like, and you indulge yourself for the short term, it's like being stuck in a ditch and using a wooden ladder's rungs for heat, rather than using the wooden ladder to climb out. It's going to be harder to climb out than it is to just chop off the things and then just throw them in the fire. But in the long run, you're out the ditch. So like, you have to have that discipline, not to go, oh, it's a bit cold, I'm going to throw away my resources that I had so that I could do the stuff that I wanted to do, like get out of the ditch. And then, so the more discipline you have within yourself, the more freedom you have in the world. And the other thing I'd do, in fact, let me find it. I've just realised I've just tried to go onto my work computer with I've got the mouse behind my laptop, and I thought that was me. The other thing that I saw that is really cool is if I do this, you're going to see this in a second. You're actually going to be able to see everything. So if I go and then what we're going to do, so people are going to be able to hear it. You guys are actually going to be able to see it, but it's this.
Okay. I'm just looking at your tab, and I just saw how to raise an ant colony. The ultimate time.
What?
No, your YouTube tab is really interesting.
Oh yeah, because I watched this. I do actually find interest in watching this thing called Ants Canada. It's really weird because obviously I don't really.
He's a dude, right?
Huh?
He's a guy who runs that channel.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a few of his videos. He's pretty interesting.
Jesus.
Here it is. By the way, this meeting's going to end in 10 minutes, and then we're going to have to go again and record the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, no, it's going to be more than 20 minutes. Just realised, because we just took that long to get in.
Okay.
So Malachi, As well,
Oh, I've
watch
seen
this
this.
video. I think you should like talk about the video, what's going on for the
Oh,
viewers that
Yeah,
are listening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give context, yeah.
So
I've watched
basically,
this video actually before, yeah.
yeah. So basically, what it is they're talking about this team they're going to beat. Well, not that they're going to beat. This team of undefeated giants, essentially. They've got 12
Okay.
games. And what it is, this insinuates the purpose of like what I was talking about, your two selves, essentially, because your body will tell you what you can and can't do. If it can see, if it feels like, if your mind is already telling it it can't. And so your limit is always based upon how you perceive yourself. You know, sometimes you've got to realize that what you see in yourself isn't the same as what you are. And sometimes you are a lot better. So in this, what he's doing now, the coach is telling him to carry his teammates to the halfway line. Yeah. And he's like, his teammate's really heavy. Yeah. He's got to carry him on, crawling on his back. Yeah. Without being able to put his knees down or anything. So it's like multiple, like there's going to be tons of pressure exerted on his actual kneecaps where he can't place them down. He's got to put them up. It's like when you try and do a plank, I've tried to before, but it's all on his knees and his arms, and he's got to keep crawling. And he's been told, he thinks that he can't even get himself to the halfway line. He's already given up. He's like, I can barely make 25 yards. And they've blindfolded him to let him to keep going. And right now, he's still going. He's beat the 25-yard mark.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But
mind
he
over
feels
matter.
like he's ready to, like, so he feels like he's ready to give up because he feels like he's almost there, or he's nearly reached that point where he felt he could get to. He's already passed it. He doesn't realise. And when he's ready to give up, he's got someone else there to tell him just to keep going. And he realizes he can still keep going, and he's still going.
Yeah.
Still going. And look, and he's still going. It's because it's having mastery over your own body. You know, not thinking that you can't do something because you don't think you can, but realizing that you are a lot more powerful, you're a lot stronger than you think you are.
That's actually
your body your mind will give up before your body gives out.
Yeah.
So your eyes and your mind is like putting an illusion over you. That's crazy. This is ultra instinct.
It is. This is crazy. It's like, okay, I'm gonna mention TikTok, not very popular among the others, but like I saw a video. So this guy, he doesn't have arms, yeah. And you know the box jump, how easy it is to people do it in the gyms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So imagine how difficult it is trying to do a box jump without like using your arms as
swinging
propellers.
the arms. Oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
tough.
He has literally no arms, and like he's trying to jump this, but he was really struggling. And everybody was, you can do it. And the dude finally did it. It was the craziest thing. But there was a point, literally 30 seconds before, he was gonna quit, but he didn't. And then he did it, and he literally cried because he was more like, dude, literally 30 seconds ago, he thought he couldn't do it, but like he did it. I think it's like insane the amount of things we can do, like when we just like believe in ourselves. You know?
It's like when you're at your mental limit, you've got two choices. You can give in to your mind's telling you and never know how far you could have really gone, or you can choose to push through it. And if you choose to push through it, you end up like this guy, where at the end of the video, I don't know if you guys want to see it or not, but at the end of the video,
no, let it play.
Okay.
This is crazy.
For the listeners out there, like his whole teammates are surprised, and they were all when he began, they were all sitting down, but they're all on their feet now.
Yeah,
they're just
like, realized that
dude, going.
they're up better.
Yeah,
they thought they were.
Everybody is astonished right now. This is a powerful scene, man. Holy shit.
Do you know how tough that is to carry someone and crawl at the same time? Ooh.
Yeah, but without your knees touching the floor as well.
Jesus. If anyone wants to watch this video, just type it onto YouTube, the Death Crawl. What is it? The Death Crawl what?
It's the Death Crawl from Facing the Giants. He's dropped. And so from a guy who didn't even think he could make it a quarter of a way through the field, have a look, it'll tell you exactly where he made it. He's in the end zone.
Jesus! You pretty much the whole field.
Dude, this lesson is gonna change this guy's life forever.
Mm.
That's mad.
Jesus, 100. He's so exhausted. His is in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
But that's the
He's
thing. I
even
think
heavier
like when
than the
you,
coach thought.
yeah,
So which means he surpassed even the coach's expectations of him. So other people can
Yeah.
see how great they think you are, which is usually a lot greater than you see yourself.
Mm.
That's usually the case 90% of the time.
yeah.
But even what someone sees in yourself doesn't necessarily mean that's your limit.
I knew that was gonna make you laugh.
You can do it. That's
Alright,
it.
who next? I mean,
Hey.
like, dude, yeah.
After
What other
that
proof
whole
do you
training
need?
session, I'm fighting him.
That's it.
I'm like, see, this is why you try to be the coach's favorite. You make me run 20 miles per hour for what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a pretty interesting video because I don't know if like something like that, not as close to that has happened to you, but like say like you were doing something that's really hard and then you quit, and it turns out you didn't have to. Like I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm doing a press up and it's like, okay, you have to do, I don't know, a certain amount of press ups in 1 minute, and the time is going down and you're going for it, and your body goes, dude, I'm really tired, and then you stop. You look at the time, like it's like 3 seconds left, and you could have carried on and could have made the time.
Yeah.
But
Because then you can keep going. Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's like when you do finish at the gym, a lot of the time you feel that you can just keep. Also, when you finish, you feel like you can keep going, and the reason for that is because you probably could have done. Your body was this is your limit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think the most important thing in terms of getting fit is you have to eat right. Or like obviously, but then again, like if you're doing workouts that by the time you finish, you are on your knees or on your face on the floor. Like doing that all the time just like basically helps you so much more. Like for my one, the rule was I'm gonna work out till my sweat touches my eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's my milestone. That's like when I hit there, I'm like I should be satisfied with myself. But that was where I started. I would struggle to get to that bit. Then I started getting to that bit. By the time like I'm almost done now, like my sweat is literally dripping on the floor, and it's like insane from where I started, where I could work out, not break a sweat. Then I'd struggle to get my sweat to my eyebrow. Now it's literally dripping all over my face on the floor.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying, and I can still go on, and I do go on sometimes. It's just.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
the hardest person I've seen work out was I used to do Black Dragons Chinese kickboxing. And, one of the hardest things was it was a 3-hour session it was Wednesday after school every week. 3-hour session. 2 hours was just work. It was just the warm up for the hours worth of actual learning.
2 hours warming up.
Yeah.
God damn.
Whoa.
Commitment.
Man, I used to feel by the time we'd finished warming up, I felt like my arms were going to drop off. And I felt like I went as hard as I could. And I felt like I went as hard as everybody else in there. But there was just one other guy that was there. Whenever we got past the workout part of it, he looked like a kettle. You could see steam coming off of the top of his head.
Jeez.
That's how hard it worked out. His face was red and there was actual steam. Not a little bit, a lot of steam.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was possible, that people could actually do.
That was funny.
Yeah. Steam. Yeah. And he looked like a full-on pot kettle. Yeah. And it was immense. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was trying to, it looked like, you know, when you used to watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid and you saw like the steam coming up before Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. And I was like, as soon as I saw that, I realised that I weren't going as hard as I thought I was. And I was as well I shouldn't have been. Because if I can get to the point where I'm cutting off steam, I mean, it's harder. Like, look, what the thing is, he was bald. So the steam was there. Like me, if my head lets off steam, it's going to get caught in my hair.
You know what's crazy? I do that to I do a little competition in my head with everyone, whoever I'm next to playing the game or fitness or even walking. I always have a little competition in my head. What I do is if I see a next person doing like 100 reps, 65 kg, and I know my limit right now is 35 kg, I will do like 100 reps, or I'll try to do 100 reps of like 40 kg. So I'll kind of like have a little competition like with myself, my mind, and the person who's working out with me. So like, for example, if I'm playing Warzone and I see Malachi with 16 kills, I'm thinking, all right, you can't get 16 kills.
You ain't never seen me with 16 kills. You seen someone with 16 kills. You seen Kai with 16 kills. You ain't seen me with 16 kills.
I'm just saying an example, but let's say Kai got 16 kills. I'm gonna go to myself. You know what? Yeah, let's try reach for 15, or let's try get 16. But if you don't get 16, at least you got 9, 10, or 11. So I always have a little competition with myself, like self in competition. I think
it's like one of my favorite
I'm gonna
sayings.
push myself.
Aim for the moon, because even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. That's what you do. So you aim for the top.
J. Cole bar right there.
No, that's wait. No, J. Cole's is
No, I think it's a popular saying, but it's like the
God, one thing's for sure: if you aim too high, then you aim too low.
No, but he also said aim for the star, aim for the moon, and I shouldn't miss something like that. It's kind of similar. I forgot what song it was from, but I remember distinctly that there's a J. Cole part similar to that. I don't know. Well, like for me, the example of what Kamal kind of does for me is like, let's say I'm doing, I don't know, like 15 reps or something, and I get to it, and I'm like, okay, this is like, I'm not tired, and I can add like an extra 1, or I can add a 5 or a 10 on top of that, just to be like, this is what I set to do, but like I've increased it. So every time I do, let's say I'm supposed to do like 10 reps on one thing, even if it's really heavy, I will add 1 5 on top of that. Just so I.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's Norman Vincent.
Yeah.
Norman Vincent Peale.
Okay. Yeah, just so like it's always challenging just to like I'd go a bit further than you're supposed to do. I mean, it's good to actually reach your target, but if you can go above, that's also helpful. Like in the long run,
you always push for the next level. Like the thing is, the thing about limits is they're meant to be breaking. They're there to be broken. You know? Limits are always self-imposed, because whenever you think of a limit, you think, oh, that's how much I can do. Whereas no, that's how much you can do now. And if you keep doing it, your body will adapt to live in this. Like that's the whole point of that's Darwin's theory. You know, it's the survival adaptations. You know, your body will adapt to what you need it to do. So right now, you might not be able to run, say, 2 miles consistently, and that's because you needed to run 2 miles consistently. If you try to run 2 miles consistently, every day, to the point that your body thinks, okay, well, actually, it'll start tearing and repairing and making those muscles that you use stronger, and it will essentially adapt itself to be able to do that. But then once you do it, you should then aim for free, because the thing is, your body will always try to make itself ready for use. You know. People who sit down playing games on PC, theirs will adapt to sort of so they don't get carpal tunnel as quickly. You know. People who play golf, they get stronger wrists. People who crush walnuts get stronger wrists. People who punch punching bags get firmer sort of muscle control.
Dude, this is reminding me of Family Guy Quagmire. Remember when he was like, he was locked up in his like house for like months, and he was just like going out.
Oh, the strong arm, that was when he discovered porn. He used to watch it on. He was still using magazines, and someone introduced him to the internet, and he's just there.
I know it's exaggerated, but that's literally like how our body works. Like adapt.
Like, man, I gave myself a proper workout.
That saying always makes me laugh. But yeah, I have a question for you guys. Like, who is someone, let's say in terms of fitness or in terms of just like any aspect of life that like you've known about and they've impressed you so much, you're just thinking like whatever I do, it would never. You're not like comparing yourself to that person, but you're thinking, God damn, that person is like on God mode or something. There's this guy I know, he's an American. His name is David Goggins. I don't want to butcher like all of the feats that dude has done, but he was like over 300 pounds, like heavy. He got himself down. He joined the military. He survived. Like one of them is like, no, he joined the Navy, I think. Yeah, he survived one of the most hardest like training ever. One of them, I'm just gonna give an example. One of them is what they do is in training they tie your hands and your feet, yeah, and they sink you like in water, and then you have to free yourself. Which like I can't even imagine how one survives that. Like people actually die from doing stuff like that. And guess what? He's done that, and he still does that to himself because he's like that scares him, and he forces himself to do it. So he will tie himself up, or somebody will tie himself up, and then he will just dump himself in whatever body of water he can find, and then he will swim and he will free himself. The guy can swim with his hands and his feet tied together. Like
That's mad.
it blows my mind every time I see that dude. So every time I'm pushing out, I'm thinking, oh, I'm doing like 2 reps and like, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, what would David Goggins do? Actually, there's even a saying, like people who follow him like say that, what would Goggins do? Because that man is insane. Insane. Like, do yourself a favor, watch him. He's a bit too much. He's a bit out there, but like his work ethic is insane. So like,
His name is.
that's an example of Goggins, Goggins.
Oh, dude.
Black dude,
Guy,
American, insane dude. Insane dude. But yeah, like who is like somebody like in alive or dead that you heard and you're just like, holy shit, people can do that, or people like this exist? Because to me, like people like that, I'm just like, what the shit, you know?
I'm gonna be real. Personally, it's my granddad. Because basically, it's mainly the thing like I tend to like I can swim, yeah, but I have a chronic fear of water that I can't touch the floor in and still breathe.
Oh.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. I was the only black person who had that. Not gonna lie.
No, so it's basically it's a thing. Also, my granddad, bro, he's from Barbados. Yeah, and then Barbados, it's a country of fishing, and you get fruit and everything on the island, but it's mainly fishing is one of the main trades. And basically, he used to. Also, they didn't have fishing rods or nothing like that. They had spears, and like fishing, diving spears. And he used to go down, and he didn't have good scuba gear, so he used to have to hold his breath for long periods of times. And some of the stories, like one of my favorites, is one time when he was hunting fish in the reef. In one of the reefs around Barbados.
Yeah.
One of those eels that you get. So you get eels within the reefs that will come out and they'll just attack, like fish most of the times. But I can't remember what they're called. I'll try and find out the name for it next episode. But yeah, basically, it's it had come out and it bit him on the top of his head whilst he was down diving for the thing. So what he had to do, because it bit him on the top of the head, he had to punch it a couple of times to get it off his head, all whilst underwater being attacked by this eel. Yeah, had its teeth in his thing. It stopped. He had to then swim back up to the surface to get himself some air. Yeah, and then that could have been it. He could have gone away, lived his life, and just been happy. He then takes a deep breath. He then goes back down into the water where the eel was, and then he attacks the eel. He's like, "Nah, you don't get away with attacking me. I get away with it. Nah, ain't gonna play like that. You ain't gonna think you're the big one. Back there, and you're telling all your friends you attacked me." That's where he explained it to me. That's how it sounded to me.
How dare you?
And so he went down there. He got the eel. He killed the eel. He then took it back up as one of the things that he fished that day. Because then they go and they sell them or they cook it up. And it was one of the most. It's a moray eel. It's a moray eel.
Dude, he's like giving me like Rick vibes. Where he's like, "How dare you do this thing that you're supposed to do naturally?" Like,
that's why he goes there like, "What? It thought it could bite me on the head." Oh my god! No, you do not trouble. Back down. It's like, but like he could have gone. He got plenty of fish that day. Like he could have just left it at that. But he felt to go back. I think it is. Hey Google, what is a moray eel? That's it. Yeah, moray eel.
Moray, okay. I think I've seen one. I've seen one in an aquarium in Birmingham. Like they're like half of them is like in the reefs and the other half is like above, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they only put a little bit of themselves out, and whenever it's wrapped within it's closed. So we went having none of that. But it bit him on the head.
Oh, dear.
He didn't have to go back though. That's so funny. He told it to me, but like when he was telling it to me, like it wasn't a funny story. it was a story that he was just telling from his childhood. Yeah. But to me, it was hilarious. I was like, because like the second half of the story,
yeah.
It's like you could have boxed it off your head and gone back because he was about 15.
And then scared, yeah.
Like when my granddad was 15, he was henchier than me. Now, he was like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was 15.
Dang.
I think like just pure.
Goddamn.
Fearless and ferocious. Why?
That's what happened back in the day when you couldn't just sit on your console and you had to go out swimming every day and stuff like that. It was like,
yeah, what? It's a lot, yeah. Come on, what about you?
That's another thing. That's the thing, because like people always say about black people not being able to swim, and it's like it's not black people not being able to swim. It's American black people not being able to swim because they weren't allowed to swim back in the day.
Dude, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so like I've never had an official lesson. I've never had an official lesson, but it's not a thing that people can't swim in my country. So basically, here's my theory of how I have a fear of water. So because I didn't have swimming lessons, I would go with like older boys who were older than me and they could swim. So we'd go to the river and we'd swim, and they were like, "Hey, listen." So the river we usually go to, there's like a tiny island in the middle of it. So people swim there, and it's cool to actually like swim across the river and go on the island. So if you're a kid and you can't swim very well, they were like, we'll take you there. So what they would do is they would swim halfway all the way to the middle, and they just dump you. It's horrible, and yeah, it's horrible. But like, cause it's kids and they're like probably about 15 or something, they found that funny. So they would do that. They did that to a lot of us, and you drink a fuck ton of water before like they let you out. They don't let you die, obviously.
Yeah.
Still, that's gotta be.
So because of that, and I fell for it so many times.
So many times. What do you mean? So many times.
I wasn't the smartest kid, and I really wanted to go on the island.
Hey, last time you leave me in the middle. They probably felt bad for me and they taught you to swim. I was like, look, no, you keep letting us take you. Like,
I wasn't very bright. Anyway, so that happened. So because of that, I had to force myself to swim at least above. But I had a fear of just going down because I've gone down a lot before I was pulled out. And also one time I almost died when I attempted to actually swim across to go on the island. The current was really like strong and it was like taking me. And I don't believe in anything supernatural or stuff like that, but I have doubts because I think I was saved by something or someone. I didn't see their face and they didn't come out of the water. So I take that. I was a kid. That's how I remember it. But anyway, I think that's why I'm scared. So when I'm in the water, I can float, I can swim. But when I can't touch the floor, I just panic and I can't make myself calm down. I don't know why. I just freak out because I'm like, oh my god.
Just because your adrenaline rushes, you get the fight or flight response, and sometimes when you're in the fight or flight response, it's your body will be telling you to fly, but your mind will be flighting, but you'll be telling to think. It's the reason why deers freeze in the middle of the road because they'll get that fight or flight response, but their muscles tense up because of the shock of adrenaline.
Yeah. Dude, it's mad. I actually a couple of weeks ago, speaking of new things I did in the quarantine, I tried kayaking. It was cool. This is fun that I'm going around. It was cool. When the first time around, everything was fine. Went outside. Then did it the second time. Everything was cool. Then I went further than I was supposed to. Capsized. I was in the water and there was a lot of vines. They caught my leg, but also because I had my paddle. Try to touch the floor to see if I could go down and then like jump back up or something like that. I couldn't, and literally because I couldn't touch the floor, I started freaking out, and I was scared to swim. I was there for probably like 5-10 minutes before I got rescued. It was weird. And the funny thing is, Amy has that on video actually. So.
Yeah, I actually have the video here if you want to watch it.
No, it's cool. It's cool, but. Yeah, they kept telling me swim. I'm just like, no, can't. I just made myself float, and I was just like staying still. And also because I had the paddle, and I didn't want to let go of the paddle because I don't know how deep it was. And I also want to let go of the kayak. One of my foot was caught on a vine, so it was a messy situation. But dude, yeah. So I need to get over this fear. But I thought I was the only black guy who's got that fear. What about you, Kamal? Any experiences?
I can't remember exactly when last year, but I went to the beach with my girlfriend, my friend Kai, and my friend Charlie. And Kai was like, I can't remember right now to be fair, but Kai was like saying to me, you need to learn how to swim, fam, because it's a great skill. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Just like that video we just watched with a death crawl, he was like
Yeah.
to me, I want you to swim from one end to the other. I was like, I could barely hold my breath for that long. He's like, yeah, you can just try it. Let's try it. I thought, all right, if you could try, so I could try it too. So bet. So I ended up trying to teach myself to swim, and I thought, wow, I can swim now. He's like, okay, let's go to the deep end. I'm like, nah, you know, I'm a bit tired. I'm gonna get some food. So yeah, I don't like how you guys described the whole chronic fear of not touching the ground. I had that experience back in America at one point where my brother dragged me into like a deep end, and I just let go and think, yeah, I'm fearless. I'm gonna let go and see what happens. I actually touched the end of the damn of the river, and I was like, how the hell do I get up? And I'm thinking sharks are gonna eat me. I'm gonna drown. My brother's gonna eat all the barbecue food. I'm not gonna play basketball again. I'm freaking out. So I thought, you know what? I got good lungs. I'm just gonna hold my breath, and I'm gonna try to bounce off of the ground, because I thought, you know what? If Goku from Dragon Ball Z could do it, me too. Let's do it. So I thought, you know what? Again, I'm never going that far again. So I'm just trying to teach myself how to swim right now. To be fair.
Yeah, dude, I am gonna get swimming lessons. I need to get over that fear, because it's what I thought. I was like, okay, what if this is like it wasn't that serious, but what if there was somebody else who can't swim, and I'm trying to rescue them, because we both gonna die. Like,
that's
thinking.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that would be pointless for me to try and rescue someone.
You're like, why didn't you jump in? Because then we'd both be dead.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, I don't want that to happen, so I have to get over the fear. And it's the stupidest thing ever, because after I got out, like a few hours later, I was sort of having nightmares about it, but it was like my brain calling me an idiot, because he was like, you could have literally tried to get back on the fucking kayak, like, simple as. But I didn't even think, because I was literally panicking. So it's like, I need to be able to calm down if something happens and I'm in water, because it could mean life or death, you know?
You know what you need? You need a focal point. Like, basically, like a lot of times, like I've been taught something, it was for something else, but like it was like, if you've got something to focus on, so like just count to 10 and focus on something. Even if you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or just take a deep breath, look at something, and then just think, okay, I've got it. Like, basically, your body is accumulated to a lot of cues. So certain things that you can do, like if you press like between your eyebrows here, when you're trying to remember something, it makes it easy for you to remember it. Next time you do that, so your body is accumulated cues. So if you try and capture a mental state and have a cue to embrace that, when you do that to yourself, if you practice with it and train with it, you can then do that sort of action, and your body will then respond to it by changing its internal functions to match it. So rather than flushing you with adrenaline, it'll know to calm down.
Yeah, no, I did. For me, I didn't manage to calm myself down, because one thing I went back to basics, because just like, okay, so I'm scared to swim. I'm not gonna do that. So my other thing was avoid drowning and stay afloat. So I kept telling myself in my head to stay afloat, to stay afloat. So I remembered, because that's one of the things I was taught in the river, like how to stay afloat, how to stay in one place, and I could do that. I could master that bit. So that's literally what I was doing. So my head was above. I'm just in one place, and I'm talking to people like, hey, this is what's happening. My foot is caught. I was still scared, but because I managed to calm myself down to like just stay afloat. I didn't think in, because if I just was panicking, I would have probably died like that, because I would just be like thrashing around, and I'd be tired, and I'll just go down. And it was really far from the shore, so it would have taken people a good minute to get to me, you know. But you're right. It's good to like kind of calm yourself down. But I just want to conquer the fear, like just like, okay, this is deep. This is something like, I don't care how deep it is. I'll be fine. I can swim. I can go up. I can go down. I can go sideways. I can do everything. But now I can just go from one end to another, down. I don't even attempt it, because I get scared. Yeah. Or if I'm in the swimming pool, I'll make sure I'm by the edge. So if I start panicking, I can just hold onto the side and pull myself out.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, no, but that does, because you got something you need. So that's the safety net, essentially, because you know you're not going to do it if you can just hold on to it. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I will say.
But let's talk about why it's a thing that, like, it's a stereotype that black people can't swim.
Because in the 50s and 60s, when
Yeah.
in America, the actual reason for it is actually based in race. Basically, they had played a lot of public spaces and recreational centres were whites only, and no blacks allowed, stuff like that. That was written on there. So things like public pools in America. That's where the saying comes from. They couldn't swim because they couldn't practice because kids like
and
everyone else could.
also
Whereas,
it's not an important thing in the Black American life.
it's not an important. It's not. Yeah, it's not. I mean, when you live in a mainland that's really big, it's not important.
Yeah.
It is the reason that it can be. You know, it's something that's still an important skill to have, just in case. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But that's the reason for it. Whereas that's why, even though it's it's a common saying in the West, it doesn't make sense if you think about your heritage. Like I said, like where my granddad grew up, it's an island. They got a lot of their stuff free fished, and in that island, it was predominantly black people who were getting those fish. There weren't just a few white people they sent into the sea. Like, oh, we can't swim, can you get us some stuff?
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, and like, there's a lot of it. Like around the coast of Africa, you'll find there are a few fishing villages where you'll see people that are.
Yeah. Or even fishing islands, and those people just like swimming like fish. It's mad. It's crazy.
There is an island in Polynesia, in Polynesian Islands, where they've actually got a genome within their DNA that actually allows them to diffuse oxygen into things at a slower rate, so therefore they can actually breathe underwater for a lot longer than an average human. Like you or I could. Just it. They can actually do it for like where it might be possible for us to do maybe 5-10 minutes if we trained. They could do that sort of naturally. That's
crazy. You know what makes me nervous? I think it will make any black person nervous. There's a game called free diving, and people do it like for sports, like competition wise. So basically, you're up in the middle of the ocean somewhere, and they have a line like that goes all the way like super deep, and they have a camera set up in the bottom or whatever distance the person they're gonna go, and then you can just see them swimming down and down and down and down. What scares me is as they're going down, it starts getting darker and darker and darker.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting in bed, I'm going, holy shit. This is the scariest thing. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And sometimes, because like there's pressure like as you go down and down. So basically, there's a science to it. Like if you go up quickly, because the changes in the equilibrium in your blood system or the pressure or whatever changes quickly, it can make you pass out. So literally, you see people go like super deep, and they come out, and they're just like freaking passed out. Like,
that's one of that's the thing. That's one of the things when it comes to diving and speed dives. That's one of the things that are one of my fears. It's because basically it's nothing to do with the darkness. Because generally speaking, on those sorts of occasions when you do stuff like that, all you need to know is that if you go up, you're going to be out. And if you're not sure what way's up, what you can do is if you've got like a visor type face, like you can spit, or you can just piss yourself, and you can see which way it runs down. Because on the wetsuit, it will still go down towards the end of it. But it will. What do I say? It's basically the going up, because what's the actual dangers of it is the fact that the deeper you get, the more pressure there is around. It's on the deepest parts of the oceans that we've explored. The glass, for the glass to even be bearable, to be able to withstand, it had to be at least 9 inches thick. Of glass, just for it so it didn't crack under that amount of pressure. And the thing is, as the human body goes down, it becomes accustomed to that pressure. So going down is not an issue, because the deeper you go down, what happens is that your body just starts to put more pressure. It's the reason why you can't basic.
I hate that.
Always exerting pressure around, but it can do it. If you come up too quickly, then your body's then exerting more pressure than it needs to, and it causes air bubbles in your bloodstream, which can be deadly to you. They can cause you concussion, they can go into your brain, everything. It is a dangerous thing. The other thing, let's talk more about other new things we're trying. So, Kamal, I heard you started a new company, under the name of Hustle Hoops. That was new. What's new with that? What have you been working on with it? I know that's going to be a bit difficult during the lockdown.
What I've been actually. Just before I asked that question, I was actually thinking the question I was asking you guys about.
Asked you guys. I don't think he asked himself the question.
It's question I asked you guys.
Yeah.
I know he asked you himself. He actually answered the question himself with David Goggins and your granddad.
Oh yeah, we didn't get back to you.
I was just thinking of something right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you look up
who
to,
do you
yeah,
com-
you didn't answer, yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that right now, actually, to be fair, and I don't know, of a sense, because for me, I've always put myself as I always compare myself. So, for example, if I'm playing a game or training or basketball, and I'm playing against people, I would compare myself from that day or that game or that event, whatever, and try like compete with myself the next time I do it. So, example, if I scored, for example, 2 points, my goal is now to double that and then triple that the next time, and eventually keep
Okay.
going on, going on.
But the question was, is there someone that you feel out there that you couldn't compete with? Like that in that sense, in some sort of physical attribute that they might have,
Or just
you feel you wouldn't be able to
impressed
do.
with, and you're just like it's not even about competing with them. Like you can't. It's like it doesn't matter if you lose or like you can compete with anyone. They might either beat you or you will beat them. But what I mean is like somebody who's like just done something crazy and you're just like, whoa, that's mad, or I'm impressed by this person, or they've done something. I'm just like, God damn, I'll not be able to do that, or I'll struggle to do that, or something.
Yeah, I've never had that feeling, I think, because I always picture myself, we're all human beings. If he can do it, I can do it too. Then eventually, whatever he can do, I could do it better or just as good. So I would always think that I'm ahead. So anyone's in front of me, like, let's say, for example, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo came to Wellingborough and tried to play us at football. I can't play football. But in my head, it's like, I got to now learn that skill for the next time he comes, I got to do him up good. That's my motivation.
Come on, out here competing with everyone.
You know what? Actually, I'll give you guys a little documentary watch on The Last Dance of Michael Jordan. And I never realized how, I never watched Michael Jordan's games or understand who he was because it was back in the 90s. And then, so for me, I've always been like a new generation type of basketball player. So when I watched that documentary, I thought these guys were seriously competitive. And it showed me that you could be so competitive with all your peers and around you, we can still be friends, but no, I'm going to bust you up. So for me, it was like, I don't need to, I don't look up against no one. I don't aspire to be that person. Well, let's take for example, Malachi is this much intelligent than me. I think to myself, okay, I need to know widen my intellect and try to get this advance for my own benefit. Or for example, let's say you know how to swim. I gotta know that I gotta teach myself to swim or learn how to swim because it's a skill that's necessary.
Even though the public swimming pools are shut, there are quite a few lakes that you can swim in around Northamptonshire and precisely around Wellingborough, even.
Yeah.
That you can swim in and it's fine.
I didn't know that.
There's some that are actually fishing ones, so I wouldn't advise swimming in them because you've got big carps. There are quite a few that are for swimming as well. But there's one that you can drive past. It's a really nice area and it's really sunny. What I was going to say is
I've never swum anywhere in England.
Hey?
I've never swum like in any open body waters in England except swimming.
You got to worry. The ones that you can swim in, you got to worry because that's where some of the water snakes will go. Like not water snakes, but they're snakes that you'll see in the water. And that's usually when you're going to see snakes is when you're in these snakes.
Okay. No.
But it's still they're small snakes. They're small snakes. They couldn't kill you unless they wrap around your neck, which they're not going to do. Yeah.
How do you know? Because
they're like that big. They're like that big. They're like that big. Yeah, they're not dangerous. But here's the thing. What I was actually going to say is that I can believe Kamal's answer for the simple fact of anything else that I remember he even thinks he can do some of the stuff that no one else can do. Yeah. Like, I remember we was coming back from Leicester. Yeah. And the next day I get asked the question, hey, cuz, was I flying yesterday?
Wait, what does this have to do about comparison?
You said there's no one that you see that they did something that you could not do. I mean, if Superman existed in this world, it'd be he can fly, I can fly too. Yeah.
I mean, if he can fly, I mean, him definitely you can fly too. You have to figure out how or evolve to do that, but you can't.
I don't know. For me personally, I just think to myself, I just want to be better than myself yesterday or 3 months ago or 6 months ago. That's who I try. That's
a good answer.
All right. We have that is good though, because that is the only person you can really compete with is yourself. If you try and compete with
yourself,
you're only going to degrade yourself if you don't.
And there's one little thing I want to mention.
Mhm.
So that's like, there's one little thing I want to mention. I learned something new this year. It's asking more questions. I've always been afraid to ask questions. I think, does that sound silly or would they laugh at?
Yeah.
Nowadays, I ask questions because you know what? I need to know that answer
Yeah.
so I can always benefit myself or be better than myself yesterday or like I said,
Yeah.
last week or 3 months. So that's something
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot more now.
See, that's the
I
thing,
think one
'cause
of our
there's no
problems-
such thing as, like, literally, if you don't know the answer to something, it's not a
Yeah.
stupid question, it's not a silly question.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Yeah.
know. And the only way for
Yeah.
you to know is to ask someone that does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like how like something that fascinates me is, you know, as kids growing up, it always like I always wonder, when do we become serious? Like, say for example, come out saying, oh, he's asking more questions now. There was a time when you were a kid, you didn't give a shit. You just asked any question that came in your mind. You didn't care what the person told.
Yeah.
You were just curious, and that was the thing. But then you get to an age where you're like, this question might be dumb, this and that, and because you're in your head a lot. So for me, I'm just like, when do we do the switch where you just like,
It's
take
when
life too
it
seriously?
depends on who you've had as a teacher. It's the people when you learn social cues and
Yeah.
who you have as teachers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Because eventually, let's be honest, I mean, sometimes, they're teachers and a lot of them are great. Yeah, but they're human, and everyone has their limits.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't want to ask 100 questions from 30 different people.
That's true, and kids can be annoying too.
And eventually, they're going to shut down. They know that you're going to ask 100 questions a lesson. They'll start trying to shut you down. And they shouldn't, but at the same time, they have to because they need to teach the criteria. But you're asking all these questions. They're like, look, just let
See,
me.
I've always been that kid who asks the 101 question. I always get shut down thinking, but I don't know this damn thing.
Yeah.
I end up paying
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me,
But,
it's like, I'm going to ask you until you give me the goddamn answer.
Yeah, for me,
Even if I don't understand it,
shut me
I'm going
down.
to ask you again.
But she didn't like shut me down as in dismissing me. She'd be like, okay, I don't know this. You go research it yourself. And I was like, yeah, it's not fun though. I like you to tell me.
Yeah.
So I can remember okay, we've got 7 minutes left, and that'll be the end. So I do want to. So let's talk about some new stuff that we're trying as well. So in that sense, like I know in a week's time, me and Oz will be traveling to London to partake in an acting course that will end with us being on in the Rain Dance Festival in Manchester in September, if it's not still in lockdown, obviously, because Manchester went into lockdown early this week. You know, and something that like we never, like personally, I'd say I've not done anything like that before. I wasn't sure that we was going to get the part, so we had to audition for it. And I was part personally, and it was going to be And so it's probably new. It's like what I realized is the stuff that you want to get into. It's like you don't have to. It doesn't matter how old you are, because like this thing that we went through, it was like we were just the right age. Like we're just the right age now. And
there was a bunch of
but you have to look for it. If you do anything that you're looking for, if you do the lazy search, you'll probably find a bunch of scam artists that know that people are trying to get into different things. But if you keep looking through and different things and just check all your avenues and actually speak to people that have done, even if it's like a minor part, you might not be speaking to George Clooney, you might be speaking to the extra from EastEnders. But they all know how the business works, and then they can tell you, they can teach you. So if there's something that you really want to do, even if there's a little bit, someone's only done a little bit, you've just got to ask them, and that's how you find things like what the thing that we're doing and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I know that I'm doing personally. I know I do want to hear more about both what you're doing with Hustle Hoops currently, and Oz, what you're doing with your new key. You know, it's a little bit of promo at the end of the video. You know, so go, come on, tell me more, Kamal. What's happening with Hustle Hoops? What are you doing?
Well, as of the moment right now, I'm just communicating with a lot of people. That's one thing I like about basketball right now. Even though there's lockdown or the pandemic, me communicating with other people is like, hey, I'm getting to know you. I'm watching how you play basketball, and it's like getting a little bit of understanding about them. I'm just making their videos at the moment, but until then, my goal with Hustle Hoops, my short-term goal is to right now just make loads of videos and make everyone witness who this person is. But my long-term goal, I would love to travel around the whole of England and record everyone's videos. That would be great.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So then what are you saying? You were saying you're doing some coaching with that as well. So what's going to happen?
You leaked up my gift, man. Okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna try and do my first ever skills coaching with this player of mine. So yeah, I'll put a little Hustle Hoops on and see how it goes. But stay tuned. If you look on hustle.hoops on Instagram, stay tuned for more information. You shall see what I'm about to do.
All right, everyone, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more. You've been helping people out with the pandemic at the moment. I've heard with a new device that allows you to minimize contacts.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's been this thing that's been in the works for a couple of months now. It's called the AMK system, which means it's an antimicrobial key. It's made from brass, copper, or zinc, and those metals. Well, we found out we didn't do the research. Like some universities did the research, and they found out that those metals basically are antimicrobial. That means like a lot of germs and viruses won't survive on them. So we thought it would be a good idea for post-quarantine when people are starting to go out, the rules are loosened and people are going to go back to their normal lives, to avoid contact with stuff that can lead to illnesses and stuff like that. Because like if you think about say like the coronavirus, for example, it can be on like materials for like hours and hours on end, and if it's like something that is communal, yeah, if it's something everybody's touching with their hands, bare hands, like somebody with it can put it there. For example, say a traffic light button, like you said, and you come and you're just having a normal day and you're trying to go about your business and you press the button, you didn't know somebody who had touched it, you now have it on you and God knows where you can transfer it. So we thought we'll create this device for people to use as almost like a second hand or finger to touch some of the common things they do, like buttons, using scroll screens, touch screens, like say you're on McDonald's and you're trying to order with their kiosk.
Okay.
You can use it on your phone, and it has a bottle opener, so it's like pretty cool.
Does it work on doors? Like handles?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it works on most doors, like you can open it. But for right now, what we are doing is we send out like a few of them. And we've got people like doing like a user testing. So for now, we're collecting data to see what the problems are and stuff like that. It was going to be launched probably like last month, but because we thought we don't want it to be a product where we launch and then it's like, oh, there's so many problems. So it's like, let's give it to a few people, see how they're using it and how everything's going before we can launch, so we know what we can learn and what we can improve and all that stuff. But yeah, so you two actually, like, if you're interested, I can send you the keys and you can, like, have a feel, use it and see like how you feel. But yeah, so that's what
okay.
What it is.
Right,
Thanks for
bringing that up. So where can they find this as well?
It's going to be online. It's the website's not completely up yet. But yeah, I'll provide more details as like we finish. We're just like right now we're doing some crazy editing because we have so many videos coming. We have to compile all of that, then have a narrative, have a story, and then launch it as like a proper company. But yeah.
All right, so guys, a link to both of those companies and their devices, you heard a bit about them, will be in the description of the video launches. Because this video is going to be launched next week rather than this week. This week we've got last week's video. That has been Inside Thoughts with KJB, OJ Simpson, and Malcolm. So, hope you guys have enjoyed. Stay blessed.
All right.
Thank you everyone for listening. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Let's